There are many fantastic biographies. One in particular, Andrew Hodges, and also accounts of Alan as he was. I was fortunate enough to meet and talk to a couple of people who knew him. We're related to him as well as work colleagues, and yeah, that was very important because there is no footage, there's no audio recording either of him. We tried to track one down at the BBC but failed, so I don't really know if an audio recording exists of him, but very specific descriptions of how he was with people in different groups and circumstances. And I remember something that one of his nieces told me, which again, to just bring it back into something ordinary that we can all relate to, he was extraordinarily good with children. She was very young, her memory of him was old, but very, very clear. He would treat them as human beings, as adults, not things that should be seen and not heard. No sort of Victorian distancing, and he would be amusing, he'd be generous, he'd make them laugh, he'd play games like playing a game of chess with his back turned to the board, to sort of show off and make them giggle. And a lot of people, there's a lot of evidence of how he spoke and where and how he made eye contact, and the warmth he felt when he did, but how he would be very diffident and removed when he wanted to be. So yeah, I got a lot of help on that. I mean, a hell of a lot of that heavy lifting was already done by Graham's script. There was such extraordinary clues into his character in that work alone. So a lot of what I did outside of just working on the script was just to kind of clarify and bring in a few more details. For example, at the end, the reason I was limping was because I discovered the doctor that had given him estrogen. Sorry, okay, I thought it was the doctor that was giving him weekly estrogen injections, probably at the Manchester Royal Infirmary. And this was a story that Alan told to one of his colleagues out in Manchester. He was working on artificial intelligence on new builds of computers. He said, well, the man who's been giving me the weekly injections is a little bit embarrassed, so he put this slow release device in my hip, which is triggered by metabolism. Men who've had prostate cancer often have a similar device to release estrogen to counteract the ferocity of testosterone and what that does to cancer. And it's the same with this treatment. Someone's put this in my hip, and the 2 years are up, and it's still releasing estrogen into my system. And James turned to the aghast colleague and said, "It's not really cricket, is it?" and walked away. The horrific truth of why I gave him a limp is because in some moment of desperation, this man who was incredibly physically connected to his world, both as a sexual male and also as an athlete, he wasn't just a brain in a jar. He was very, very much part of his world. His body meant something to him, and this man, this mind, this body, at some point in a dark moment of this horrific treatment, took a kitchen carving knife and tried to gouge it out of his body. And we don't show that in the film, but that was my way of honouring that particularly horrific truth. Extraordinary things about the man, humanising things about the man, but also some pretty dark and despicable truths as well about how he was treated.
I just want to comment one thing about the Bentley saying, like, the authenticity of the story. I mean, a lot of people ask me, what did you guys made up? What did you invent? What did you add to the story? And it shouldn't say based on the true story. I think it is a true story. And everything that's in the film happened, and it was a big responsibility for us. Like, the school you see is the school that Alan Turing went to. There's a little chapel there, and there's a memorial plate from Christopher Morgan, which was put there. And it was reminded us the sort of humbling responsibility that these were these hallways, this was where it all happened, where it all began, and we shot it at Bletchley, and every enigma in the film is actual enigma machines from the war. The machine constructed is based on Turing's design, more or less looks like that way. So it was a huge responsibility to try and be accurate and try to recreate his world and his life.
question here.